Welcome to Tavetta Talks. I am Tavetta, and I am talking about Gary greatness. This is an opportunity to shine a spotlight on people that I have observed in the city of Gary, making a positive difference on a consistent basis. And so today, I am talking to Joslyn Kelly, the owner of Jay's Breakfast Club. How are you, Joslyn?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for asking.
I welcome you to Tavetta Talks. I want you to introduce yourself in maybe 3 sentences. What would you like the people to know about Joslyn Kelly?
Well, hey, everybody. My name is Joslyn Kelly. I am the owner, visionary, and proprietor of Jay's Breakfast Club. Born, raised, and bleed Gary. About me, it's all about living life abundantly, love to live to love, dare to dream, but definitely make it happen.
What are your happiest moments growing up here in Gary?
Wow. My happiest moments were walking home and back from school in the snow with my bigger brother. I remember going to Screaming Wheel skating rink. I remember the football aramas. As a teenager, I remember Baby Crenshaw off of off of Broadway over by Gleason Park. Oh my gosh, the list goes on and on. The beach. I remember being at Indiana University Kids College, going to school at Holliston, growing up at St. Timothy Community Church with Reverend Laurie. Oh my gosh, the memories just flood and just go on and on and on. Taking swimming lessons with Dr. Wolf and Miller, my piano lessons with Mr. Thompson. Oh my goodness, the list just goes on and on. Dr. Rivera Faustin and the Faustin Adolescent Care Center on Grant Street, writing plays, being part of plays, writing music. I could go on and on and on and on.
I heard you mention Holliston. Tell me, what other schools in Gary did you attend?
Absolutely. So in kindergarten, I started off at Cooney Elementary School. I went through first through, I think it was sixth grade at Pittman Square Elementary School. I was at 7th and 8th grade at Holliston Middle School. I was in the Gifted and Talented program. My freshman year and my sophomore year, I went to Culver Girls Academy, which is not in Gary. Half of my junior year, I spent in Linz, Austria as an exchange student. And I'm a proud graduate of Lewis High School. You have on the right colors, Tavetta.
I was with you in Holliston, and then somehow we went left. Oh my. Nevertheless,
I'm gonna let you have that.
Because good people can still come from Lewis. We'll carry on with the interview. What are some of the life lessons that you gained from your teachers in Gary?
I remember succinctly Mr. Boswell, the gist of it: excuses are the tools of the incompetent, and excuses don't get you anywhere. I remember Miss Paholsky, our English teacher. She used to pull me to the side and she used to always tell me how well I dressed. And that did something to me as well. One of my other mothers, Mrs. Eichelberger, she was over the bookstore at Lewis. And so we lived across the street. So I would ride to school with her and work in the bookstore before going to class, especially when I transferred into Lewis. It had been a while since I had been in the school systems. So it gave me an opportunity to slowly ease back into it and seeing, meeting up with old friends and things of that nature. So it gave me like a safety room as I began to integrate back into the environment. The Gifted and Talented program, the things that we saw, that we learned, that was different from the classroom experience coming through the regular classrooms in elementary school. The friends that I still have to this day is just amazing. the different teachers, how they impacted your life growing up. Coach Asbury, Mrs. Clay Smith, Mrs. Daniels, Mrs. Hamler, and why you remember these names so many years ago. But those are the people who poured into your life growing up, and they had a profound impact in being and making and shaping the person that I've become today.
Miss Eichelberger, absolutely positively phenomenal. Although I did not attend Wallace.
You still knew her.
I still knew her from the work that we did in our nonprofit organization. Her arms were always extended to help, to connect, and the resilience of the people is another attribute that makes Gary so great. So I agree with you on that aspect about Lou Wallace.
Here we go.
Listen, that comment about excuses.
Yes.
Learned it in elementary. Excuses are tools of the incompetent. Those who become good at excuses seldom become good at anything else. It was like a school drill. So obviously that was at multiple schools.
Right.
But yeah, that's something you can carry throughout life. So let's talk about Gary today. What keeps you hopeful? Because you invest a lot here in Gary. What keeps you hopeful and consistently investing in Gary?
One thing of it is I see Gary as an empty canvas, and it's prime for us to paint it and shape it to whatever we choose. Gary has a rich history and a rich legacy that very much deserves to be upheld. Yes, it's been looted. Yes, it's been pillaged for a lot of its value, but the core, what do they say? Strong bones. Gary has excellent, strong bones. And if we don't embrace its value, others see it and they're coming. And if we don't embrace it, then we'll be pushed to the side and displaced. And I, for one, am not going to be displaced. It has afforded me too many opportunities. And with that being said, I'm not going anywhere, and I'm going to invest here and make sure that what it invested in me, I give it back.
Lessons. Let's talk about the lessons you've gained from your family here in Gary.
Interesting. So my parents are not from Gary. They're transplants. So they moved to Gary in 1967, 68, around that time. So they actually have been here longer than where they're actually originally from. So this is their home. But it was something about my parents never wanting to leave, because they could have easily, when they retired, gone back down south, there's property down there and all that good stuff. But this is where they've chosen to stay. I look at the challenges that my parents endured growing up and what they have been able to amass and accomplish. And their fingerprints are all over this community. And with that, it gives me great pleasure that I'm walking in some very big shoes to continue to fill the stead of our legacy here in this community.
You have a lot of initiatives at your business. I want to talk about one specifically. What inspired a seat at the table?
Oh, no. I'm just kidding. The beginning of the year, I had this vision, and this vision had this hand, and the words "be the change" just kept ringing in my head. And so I sat one day and I just kind of sketched out what this "be the change" looked like with this hand. And so I did a call out on Facebook for a graphic artist to assist me. And Paul Kaiser immediately stepped up and said, "What you looking for? What you looking to do?" And over a 3 to 4 hour span, we actually collaborated and put together this "Be the Change" movement. And with the hand basically saying, it's me. I'm going to be the change. I'm not going to talk about what's needed. I'm going to be the change. And from that, my mind just continued to evolve and things just continued to just kind of bubble up and out. And one was we were still heavily amidst in the pandemic where a lot of things were still shut down. Then January 6th happened, the insurrection. And the conversations just kind of just started to boil out and people were having it in pockets. But we needed to be more vocal and come to the table and make that discussion heard. And so I started this thing called a seat at the table where we selected a few people to sit around the table. And then we showed it virally so people could make their questions, comments, and we could get the conversation started. So in essence, the seat at the table was spawned from being the change. I'm going to be the change. I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm going to be about it. And so that initiative was born out of the Be the Change and starting with a seat at the table, not just sitting at the table talking about things, but actually creating plans to make a change, to be innovative, to be collaborative, to actually do what it takes to do what we need to do.
Well, once again, I appreciate you and all that you do. My final question, what would you say to the people who have the question, does greatness really come from Gary?
Then you must not be from Gary if you ask him that question. I think this is fertile ground. And so much is planted here. And if you ever are able to explore the world, some of the greatest places. Oh, I'm from Gary. What? And I don't say that lightly, the world, not the country, the world. There are many people who came through this system that are doing amazing things. And the thing of it is that, again, it goes back to self-care. You have to care for yourself, but at the same time, you have to expose yourself. So if all you know are the four walls around you, you're limiting yourself. But once you're able to go out and be and interact with things around you, you see the value of what you have within those four walls even that much greater, as well as the potential of what it can grow to be. The condemnation that comes when the people talk about Gary is they only limit it to what they see within the four walls, and they don't recognize the potential that we possess. Not just the place, but the people, the ideas, the resources. And until we begin to maximize all of these different elements, then we have limited ourselves. But there are people like yourself, like myself, and a community of others who are bigger than the four walls and that are pulling in resources and experiences from their world experiences that is going to change and take Gary not to where it once was, but into its new glory. I can't stand when people hold on to things. In life, we evolve. And the whole thing of it is that we don't want to return Gary to its glory. We want to elevate Gary to its new glory. And that's only opening up doors for those to come and giving homage to those who have passed through. So the time is now. We're ready to be the change, and I'm excited for the opportunities that are ahead of us.
Listen, Joslyn, yet again, the word has gone forth. Gary is headed to its new glory.
Its new glory.
And we can still honor the former glory.
Absolutely.
Gary is headed to his new glory. It is an honor to share this community with you. As a woman, I am proud. As a woman with brown skin, I am proud. As a woman who is also an entrepreneur, I am proud of you and all that you have accomplished. I am cheering for you to keep growing, keep building, keep soaring. May the rest of your life be the absolute best of your life. God bless you, your marriage, your business, and everything you touch. And I will see you soon, Joslyn.
Thank you so much. And double anointing back to you as well.
Thank you. Take care.
All right. Thank you.